Well, a very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Kenya's most comprehensive political and public governance analysis show. Definitely, I'm referring to the Candid Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Evans Okinye, and I'm here with Professor Herman Manyora. How are you, sir?
I'm okay.
Seemingly, this week you've not been in school. You're here looking at how things are taking place in the country and monitoring.
We were in Kwale
what's happening
the other day, so we are moving around.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's get back to this conversation here. Of course, I remember the last time we had a conversation with you, even the deputy president had not been impeached, but then things have changed right now. Of course, this is what is happening, and as you're aware, Gachagua is out of office, but there is some sort of a gray area there. But then I want us to focus on his fight for survival. What does this actually mean? Because he decided to went to court. We were waiting to listen to what the three-judge bench that was actually formed by the Chief Justice will actually say on this particular thing. But then the bigger question is here. Are we looking at the last kicks of a dying horse?
You can't. These things. The moment these things go into courts, you can never know the outcome. Okay. But yeah, you can't tell the outcome because once something is in court for determination, we have to wait for determination. Yeah.
Up to now, up to this point in time, we can indeed confirm that the marriage here. Let me not. I don't want to say marriage of convenience.
I think now it's.
But then it's
sort of confirmed.
Yeah. It's broken beyond repair.
Yeah,
that is.
Yeah.
If it's broken beyond repair, definitely for smooth running of the government, why do you think that the deputy president is still hell-bent on fighting for his chance? One, we had this conversation here, and people were like, and I remember you saying that he should have resigned initially. But then here at this particular point, it is indeed clear that he cannot actually work cordially with the current president. Of course, that is his boss. Why is he so much still in the fight?
So the idea is it could be personal. In other words, you can't kick me and I allow you to enjoy. I'll also make life difficult for you. Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So is it looking for
or let me show you that you are not what you thought you are. You don't have the power. The power is with the people of the country, called Kenya. The power is with the judiciary, and they have said I stay, so I stay.
There are those people who tend to argue that the deputy president right now is not actually genuine in terms of what he is here fighting for. And they're saying that he's actually fearing the consequences of that impeachment being sustained.
I don't think that he should have done when most of us thought he should have resigned, if he really feared in the manner you are trying to suggest. So I doubt that he fears in that manner. Yeah.
So that could not be the case?
Yeah, I don't think it's...
Then what could he just be trying to achieve at this particular moment? Because people are arguing, look, it's already done. You're already impeached. Just accept that the marriage is over.
There are many reasons. Somebody can fight to remain in the marriage for children, for property, for the kick of it, for nuisance, just to show you they can make your life difficult. There are many reasons. Gachagua can fight for the constitution, that we want to see how far this constitution can protect the rights of an individual. That the deputy president have a place in the constitution. What did Kenyan people want? He can stay for that reason. He can stay for nuisance value, just to give Ruto a hard time. He can stay because of the parks. They are very nice parks. Have you seen those? The motorcade. There are good things there. He can stay because he knows if he's out, they can go after him. You know, there are many reasons why you'd want to stay. Yeah, it's not one reason. Many reasons. Okay. Yeah.
But I want us to focus on his political lifeline right now with the current occurrences here. Definitely, the consequences of his impeachment are also here, and we're waiting to see what will happen after the courts have actually rendered their word on this. But then how then does this actually tilt the kind of political landscape in the Mount Kenya region? Because right now, definitely, they are kind of exposed. The man whom you said had full control of the mountain is actually, maybe the mountain is slipping off his hand.
No. Hey. The mountain is angry. Yeah, and everybody knows that. Ruto must know that. The mountain is very angry. Yeah. Okay. Rumbling. it's like an erupted volcano. And they must be angry and organize the anger around one individual, and that individual is Gachagua. Gachagua has following beyond Mount Kenya just because of the way people perceive him as being treated. Yeah, so the mountain is firmly with Gachagua.
Are you sure?
100%.
The mountain is actually rumbling because of
Let's
one
put it this way.
individual.
Let's put it this way. If the people of the mountain were asked to say whether they support Gachagua or not, and a vote was taken, he will get over 90% of the vote. So that's a fact. And it has nothing to do with whether the guy is good or bad. It is the way things have turned out.
You remember we had this conversation about the eastern side of the mountain and the other side of the mountain.
Yes.
Right now, if you talk of the mountain, then definitely you'll have to underscore the fact that, in fact, those who are pro, the other side of the mountain, the Merus, the Rakas, and all those people
if you take,
are fully behind Kithure Kindiki. So you can talk of 90% supporting.
I would adjust it to maybe 70 because of that factor. But even then, the sympathy for Gachagua is spread across the mountain. That includes Meru. And I want to assure you, even if Mount Kenya vote was taken, Mount Kenya East, Gachagua will still get a lot of support.
Beyond the sympathy, is there anything else that works for the battle deputy president right now? You
see, politics works with all those factors. If you remove sympathy, if you take away the victim card, how far would Ruto have gone in 2022? Those are things that combine, the combination of the many factors that lead to somebody's, success in politics. Okay. Or when they are going for office, a combination of factors. So this particular case, sympathy is very high on the table, on the list of things that will make Gachagua popular. Yeah.
For one, should his impeachment now here be sustained? For one who is staring to, maybe let's talk of at least maybe 10 years or so in the cold, how easy will it be for him to mobilize these people when he does not hold any viable political position in the country?
You know what you are trying to say is true. That the moment you get out of politics, the moment you lose your political office, things happen so fast in quick succession. You become irrelevant very soon. That's true, and it could happen to Gachagua. That you are not in the office. You lose friends. People even fear talking to you. People don't call you because they know your phones are being tapped. People want business. They don't want to, and people do business with government. People want jobs. You lose your friends. And before you know, you are lonely. You have no impact. That happens. That could happen to Gachagua if he's removed. But he could also play his game, being the sort of person he is, in such a way that he mobilizes the mountain towards some agenda of, say, hitting back at Ruto. Either in 2027 or before, and in a manner he will think fit, that is viable. Yeah, so all those two options are possible. Both of them are possible.
But the question is this: does he still have the vigor, the strength, the oomph, and all that gravitas that he used to have back then?
Sometimes I've told you your light dims completely in Azima. But sometimes you can re-engineer the game. You can re-engineer the game. It's possible. Look at someone like Ruto. I very much doubt that Ruto's energy would go down if there are differences with Ruto, with Uhuru, led to him being impeached or he left. That kind of energy will be sustained. He may not have become president, but he could sustain that energy. So Gachagua has some energy in him. He has organizational skills. He, like Ruto, he also has something with the word, how he speaks. He can move the crowd. He can put those things to use. And he can rally people around him. Remember something else. These are some of the things the Ruto camp must be considering, if they ever consider things. The only way to remove Ruto from power is for Kenyans to go the movement way. So there's going to be a movement to remove Ruto of Kenyans who have not followed Raila to Ruto. Gachagua can be a very important element in that movement. Very important element. So you'll find his relevance and his energy, and he will be highly valued by the movement. And if he convinces his people that the only way of making the mountain feel they were not foolish to vote for Ruto is for them to organize with the other Kenyans to remove Ruto. That he can remain relevant. But the other option you say is also true. That the moment you lose power, you become almost useless. Yeah.
And that is where I was actually wondering, how then does he organize beyond this? Because people will be like, at the end of the day, even if we were to rally behind you, what are you offering in return?
But you see, how did the forces organize organize to remove Moi from power? Yeah, it was people who held no offices. People Moi had shunned and consigned to Siberia of politics. But they got together in a movement, the movement for multi-party democracy. You know? The old people with the young thugs working together. Jaramogi had come from house arrest and things like those. He wasn't having anything in the country. But together with the Matibas who had left government in the manner you are saying Gachagua would have left, with the Matibas, with the Rubias, people Moi had thrown out of politics. And they organized together. And they were able to give Moi a run for his money. They didn't remove him in 1992. They didn't do it in 1997. But somehow in 2002, people believe, I don't believe, 2002, he was able to leave. Not him, but even his candidate, Uhuru Kenyatta, and so on and so forth. So it's possible that if there are sufficient numbers of Kenyans angry enough with what is happening in the country, they can organize as a movement. And in that movement, Gachagua will be a very, very important element. Yeah.
Now, when Kenyans said Kufa Dereva, Kufa Makanga, and all that manner of stuff, of course, right now, seemingly, the Makanga is somehow, even in as much as he's trying to breathe here,
he's hanging on the vehicle.
He's hanging on the vehicle, but
and the vehicle is driving at a high speed.
Definitely. So if at all that is the issue here, then do you think that where would he be getting this sympathy? Because at the end of the day, people were saying that certain sections of people who believed that is also part of the system, he should go. I talked to some Kenyans and they were telling me, because we are done with one person, so our strategy should be getting the other one.
You see, in 2007 when Raila stood, at that time Raila was nyeupe kama pamba. I'm not saying he's not nyeupe anymore, but I'm saying he was as white as snow. But he worked with people, non-crooks, in his team. So sometimes in politics, it is necessary to work with other people who may not necessarily be the best people. Yeah. Even Karl Marx worked with Friedrich Engels, who was a capitalist, because he needed the resources. So it is possible that even if the country perceives Gachagua as not being clean, being like Ruto, for example, Kufa Dereva, Kufa Makanga, where his support will make people remove Ruto, that support will be appreciated very much by the people, how to remove Ruto. And that's how politics works. Yeah.
Now, the bigger question is this. If at all the courts want...
Especially as a rider, especially if he's not the presidential candidate, for example. And he may know that the best way to remove Ruto is to support somebody else for now. Yeah.
So if at all the courts were to save him at this particular moment and have him reinstated as the deputy president, with the current revelations and how these two people definitely relate, and I remember when we began this show, you confirmed to me that right now that marriage is broken beyond repair. Would you then advise the deputy president to resign and at least go outside there, re-strategize and come back stronger?
That will be his own decision. But remember, the president is not a love affair. Rigathi doesn't have to love Ruto. Ruto doesn't have to love Gachagua. It's not a love affair. These are affairs of state. And each has a role defined clearly by the constitution. And each of them has been put there by the people of Kenya with a clear understanding of their mandate.
Are you therefore trying to say that the relationship between the president and the deputy president does not matter in terms of...
It doesn't have to be a love affair. It is good if they jelly, if they work together. But what I don't support is open rebellion. I don't support open insults and childish behavior between the two. But differences are normal.
That is what we are witnessing right now.
The differences are normal. But where it has gone, I agree with you. It doesn't look like it's very tenable. But Ruto himself has set an example. He differed with Uhuru and he continued. People asked him, please, why don't you leave? He didn't leave. And Gachagua could be borrowing a leave from Ruto. Yeah, saying if this guy had left, he would not have become president. I'm not leaving. I want to become president. Yeah. Yeah.
Finally.
Because that office brings with it a lot of things, which you would lose if you went.
Okay.
While you are deputy president, whether people like it or not, uko na sauti, uko na nguvu, unakaa Karen pale. You entertain people. Ruto was entertaining people there, coming to talk ill of Uhuru and Raila from Karen. So you need that. So you may look at it and say, well, wacha watu wakuja kwa hii compound ya serikali, wasikuja kwangu. Utavunja madirisha kwa vioo kwa nyumba yangu, nenda repair. Wacha vunja hii ya serikali. When they are excited and happy and singing. Wanakanyaga nyazi mpaka inaharibika. Yes, wanakunywa chai ya serikali. Yeah. Yes.
So when all this is said and done.
Hii magari yote unaenda kampeni, unaenda Mount Elgon huko. Mafuta ya serikali, sio yako. Yeah, he would want to stay.
When all this is said.
But Jaramogi, you need to be a Jaramogi. And none of these people is Jaramogi Oginga Odinga.
Okay.
Because Jaramogi Oginga asked Kenyatta, what will people say, the people of this country, when they know that I'm earning a salary and I'm doing nothing? For that reason, chukua kazi yako. None of them is Jaramogi. Not even Raila, his son. Even the Orengo whom Jaramogi loved, they have turned his back against Jaramogi. Only people like Gitobu Manyora, Mutumishi Ndengo Wagadangu, they are still true to the spirit of the revolution, of the fight to change this country. The rest, because politics is highly transactional, the rest wamepiga kona, wamefuata anasa za dunia, wamepata mali ya dunia, wanataka kuishi Karen, wanataka kuishi Lavington, wanataka kuendesha magari kubwa. So they are not Jaramogi. Gachagua is not Jaramogi. Yeah. So why would he he won't feel the conscience that drove Jaramogi to resign. No. Because you must be such a highly principled and ideologically sound person like Jaramogi, who understands the world, who was able to say, I cannot take over leadership of this country because my understanding of the configuration of the society called Kenya and the historical moment we are in, it has to be a Kikuyu to be president now. It has to be Kenyatta, not me.
Okay. Can we therefore conclude here that the deputy president here, Rigathi Gachagua, is actually fighting for political consequence and relevance at this particular moment?
Of course, he doesn't want to go down. But there are people like, sometimes you fight like you say, fight when it's over, the court you have given to you, now you tell Ruto, you know you are wrong, okay? Now chukua my resignation letter. Yeah, now I don't want your job. Now you know. But I have proved the Constitution has protected me the way it should protect everybody. The courts have shown they will come in when we politicians are exhibiting bad manners. They will arbitrate the way the Constitution and the people of Kenya desired, and they have shown clearly, you are trying to wrong me, and I'm supposed to go back to my office. However, considering 1, 2, 3, I do not want to go back to the office. I was just proving a point. I thank the people of Kenya. I thank the judiciary. I thank everybody, and those who supported me and those who didn't support me. I want to start a new phase of my life. So, Mr. Ruto, continue with your presidency. Yeah, it's also possible. Yeah.
And should things go that way, you believe that would actually create a very vicious political battle, especially with regards to the 2027?
Yeah, it depends on how he will have calculated. You know, he can do that and completely go into campaign. They set up a very serious presidential movement, a presidential secretariat, a movement to remove Ruto. with complete physical structures and offices and everything across the country. And they are busy from that day. They are busy. The team forms. Team of politicians, of civil society players, of religious players, of all people, young people, Generation Z, and everybody else, and they are in that movement, and you just make it very difficult for government. And the next election comes, and you are part of the winning team. That is also possible. Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's wait and see what happens till then. Thank you for tuning in to this conversation. And of course, you're free to weigh in and tell us what you think about what we've just discussed here. Till we have this conversation again, have yourself a lovely day. Thank you for watching. My name is Evans Okinyi.